What is up, y'all? What is up, y'all? Damage per Second podcast. That's DPS podcast episode 215. And we are back on a fine Thursday night. Feeling all right.
Feeling all right.
Good to see the fine people in the chat. What's up, Blade X? What's up? Basic Casual Gamer. He knows what he is. Good shout out to him. Arcade 4247. The good Rob is in the house, and Soldier for Life 504. Appreciate you guys. Glad to have you here as we get more people filing in. I am happy to say this. We are 15 subs away from 500 subs on this channel. If you haven't subbed to the channel yet, please, we appreciate you if you did sub. Hit the like button while you're here, by the way. We appreciate you guys. We're going to have a fun show because it's going to be, it's us, man. You know, we're going to have some intelligent conversation. You know, you don't get that everywhere, you know. The intelligence is lacking in a lot of conversations in the gaming industry. But here, you get all the good intelligence here, okay? You know.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
Anyway, what is up, Gaming Forte, my co-host, the co-host? What you doing, man?
No, man. Well, first I was under the weather. What was it? Sunday. After I went to the show to go see Captain America, Brave New World.
Oh, how was that? I haven't seen that yet.
How do I want to say this?
Oh, that's not good.
How do I want to say
That's not good. Because if it's a good movie, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, man, it's fire. Go see that. That."
No, okay. So,
but you out here like, how do I sound not as salty as I feel? Is the way you making it sound?
No, I don't think it was a bad movie. I think it was actually good. I think my issue with it, I felt like they tried too hard on certain things. You know, like how the comedy in Marvel movies are. Like, you know, take example when Captain America. You know, when Captain America says that, he said, "Man, that is Captain America's. You know, that is Captain America's ASS." You know, and you kind of like, because it's something they built up on over movies and stuff. You know, talking about that's America's ASS and stuff. So, you know,
yeah, it's a lot of the.
Go ahead.
A lot of what the MCU is based off of like Josh Whedon. Yeah, because so like. If you ever watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, older show, you know, some of you youngins may not know, but you know, us older folk, older people, not old folk, but older people remember Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But like, he kind of he created that show. He also directed the first Avengers movie. He really kind of like popularized like the kind of like witty banter and comedy in the face of like not a funny kind of situation kind of stuff that we saw from and really worked with like superhero films. I think it really helped the MCU in like the beginning, but like you got to actually have good writing with it too. And I don't think that like a lot of times they try to have the same tone, but you don't really have like the writing to go really make that work, or they do it at the wrong times, you know? So it's just, I feel you, you know, I'm gonna go see it.
Yeah, like I said,
I haven't been really hyped for it. Go ahead.
I think it's this for me. If you, and I'm a huge going to the movies to see movie person because I like the atmosphere, you know, I like seeing it. You know, you only get a chance unless you got a 150-inch screen at home to like kind of simulate. Even that's not even simulating the movie theater. But if you got something like that big at your house, then you can kind of get away with it. Or if you got like a really, really good sound system, you can kind of get away with it. But there's movies like Mission Impossible. There is no way I'm not going to the movie theater to see the last Mission Impossible because I already know what that's gonna be. Just like it was just like when it was when I went to go see Top Gun, because I knew what that was going to be. But it's like going into this movie for some reason, it's just been a way like Disney has been doing things. And like Brian East just said in the chat, he said people call them Disneyfying it, getting through intense moments and situations and ruin it by telling the joke. It was like, for me,
it also is the actor that delivers the joke though, because like Robert Downey Jr. was really good. at doing that and selling it well, you know, and then, but not everybody can do what you know, Robert Downey Jr. can do, which is probably the reason why they're trying to bring him back. I don't think bringing him back as Dr. Doom is going to work.
It's going to work,
but,
yeah.
But I mean, we'll see what happens, you know.
Yeah, so I think the movie was good. I just think it wasn't worth the ticket prices that you got to pay to go to a movie theater and see it. It's almost like
so I should just wait to Disney Plus is what you're saying.
That's how I felt about it. Like, and you know, now granted, I'll say this, my kids loved it, you know, but the thing is, I also know how it was when I was younger watching movies, where it wasn't really about the context of the movie, it was about the action in the movie, and the movie's got a bunch of action in it. Like there's like wall-to-wall action in the movie. Like you won't be bored watching the movie. So if you're a person that just likes to see that type of stuff, you're going to enjoy it just off the strength of that. That's why I think a lot of, you know, younger, you know, kids or patrons or stuff are going to like the movie. But when it came to like what I am used to from a Marvel movie, and I also feel like, as much as I don't want to say it, I just don't think Sam really carries like, it's kind of, you don't get Captain America. No, to me,
that's is it the character or is it the actor that's just not doing it for you?
I don't think it's the actor. He's a great freaking actor. I think that's not the problem. I just think this is the thing though. Just like, remember when we said, like, how are they going to replace Iron Man? You don't replace Iron Man. Like that's Robert Downey Jr. Like, as much as we know that the comic books and everything is kind of tied to, you know,
yeah, like the character America. Sam Wilson does become Captain America. But in the eyes of everybody right now, come on now, we know who Cappy is. And it just you saying some things don't translate from comics to the movie screen well, and having a mantle. But okay, so all right, I know we getting kind of deep in the weeds here, but look,
but I don't think that's hold on.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Spider-Verse movies, Miles Morales, I think people have accepted him as Spider-Man. He is Spider-Man, a Spider-Man. You know, like people didn't really.
While you're saying that, let me ask you this though. I do agree with that, but do you think it's the way that they went about introducing Miles Morales? Like how do you think it would have played if they would have just went straight to, like, not cinema, but straight like live action, where they introduced them in anime?
Oh, so you think because it was animated, it was accepted a little bit better?
It was a little, because think about it, like there's a difference going animated with it and going full live action.
You can admit Into the Spider-Verse is just a better movie than Captain America Brave New World, right?
Very, very much. Like Spider-Verse was one of my favorite movies of that. Like, it's like one of my favorite Spider-Man movies ever. That movie was freaking incredible.
So I really just think it's more than just the character. It's the execution, it's the directing, it's the writing, it's all of it. If it's not like all on the same page, and it's not all like really delivering like that, then people will have the overall feel be like, especially when you're trying to replace a character as a mantle Captain America with another character. It's just, you know, it's harder to deliver and execute on that than it is just introducing Ant-Man or something, you know, just like the expectations is different, you know, like most people thought
that you do
the first Ant-Man movie was okay, but like they didn't have any expectations from it because it's freaking Ant-Man, and right? But now this is different, you know. Chris Evans is gone; he ain't coming back.
Right?
You got what is that actor's name? I can't remember names right now.
That's why I keep saying it. I was like, what is his freaking name?
But you got him now, you know, stepping into the role, and I kind of feel like, in a way, because the MCU is so kind of like in flux right now with so much like movies that were just mid and didn't really hit the mark, and a little bit of fatigue from superhero movies in general, that like he's kind of behind the 8 ball on things. But yeah. I mean, I this isn't a movie podcast. So let's I mean, we go ahead.
I'm gonna ask you the last thing. Do you write about that?
Anthony Mackie, thank you, Brian East.
Anthony Mackie. But I will say this though, like you said, it is hard to like supersede or succeed where somebody else was already in a character. I think it's almost a situation where you have to do it like they did with X-Men with Professor X. You know, you had Patrick Stewart playing that character,
the older version,
and then AV came back.
McAvoy
played the younger version, and in your mind, it wasn't like he was trying to be Professor X. It was like a completely different like circumstance because it was the younger version of him. But when you think about like some of your, like I said, you were going to move on from it. There's like certain characters that you feel are nobody, at least in your mind, nobody can play that character. Like still to this day, I'm trying to figure out who will ever play Wolverine ever again that is not Hugh Jackman. To this point, like in my mind, like who would be Deadpool
I am ready for an actual real Wolverine that isn't as tall as Hugh Jackman is. I've always had a problem with that.
I'm with you on that. But that's the thing though. But that is an iconic role played by a person that is synonymous with that role. Just like what's his name is synonymous with Deadpool at this point now. It's like
Ryan Reynolds.
Who else could be better? I mean, I feel
like I feel like he's been playing Deadpool in all his movies before playing Deadpool, so it just works for him, you know.
It just works.
You
should see the movie. If you do see it, anybody, I'm not gonna say don't go see it because I did have fun at the show. It was just one of those things that I'm thinking about the ticket price because we went on a Sunday because my kids couldn't wait, and we ended up paying, that $24 in tickets, and then you got to think about concession, and that was 40 something bucks by itself. So was that movie worth $70 for me to go sit through? It was fun, but I would have been happier if it was like $35. So and when you start thinking about the
that's a little when you paying for popcorn and food and the tickets and all that,
and that's what kind of weighs on you. Like I would pay that like for Endgame or what's the name? Any movies like that? Oh, $70. That was like, dog, but I didn't even think about the money when I left the movie theater after watching like Endgame and stuff, or even Top Gun. And I went to go see by myself, and I still paid like 30 something bucks for myself. So money didn't come into the situation at all.
I'm gonna tell you this. I am just fine going seeing the movie by myself.
Oh, I am too.
I catch a matinee.
Yep.
And I am just fine with also not going to the theaters at all. I like when during the pandemic, when people were like, "Oh no, they're going to start doing everything straight to digital and movie theaters are going to die." I was like, "Let it die. I don't care."
Let it die. Who cares?
I look, maybe I'm just getting old, but like I got like all the pressure of like, man, let me make sure I take a leak before the movie start because I don't want to have to take a piss during the movie, and then now I'm doing the little shuffle in my seat because I don't want to miss anything, and so I'm not trying to do all that. Pause at home, go take a leak, take a break, come on back, finish the movie. I got nice TVs, I got nice sound systems in my house. I'm good in the comfort of my home, my own food. Chilling, sitting back, relaxing. Now listening to somebody smacking on their food behind me. Now listening to the other chick on the other side who keep picking up her phone, going, "What, girl? Girl, this movie." Like, no, none of that. I'm at home. I'm chilling, and maybe it's just the old me. I'm old here, and I don't want to be bothered with people.
Yeah,
but I can't do it no more. I really don't care for movie theaters like that. But anyway, look outside movie, the movie you saw. What you been up to, man?
So outside of that, I started playing started playing Avowed on Xbox because it did release in Game Pass, and I actually really like the way that the Xbox version plays. Like, you still get better performance on the PC version of it, of course, but they did a really good job with the Xbox version to the point where I mean, you could definitely tell the differences, but it plays really well. And I definitely want to get your thoughts on it because I saw your tweet yesterday about saying that you were enjoying it so far, and that's good to hear because it's a lot of discourse about the game out there, and I'm like, dude, you guys are just complaining to complain. Like, the game is actually really good, and sometimes I think people overanalyze what they're playing when it comes to certain games. But I've been playing that on Xbox. I'm gonna get back to my PC gameplay because I do want to finish it out by the end of this month. I want to be done with it. So the next week and a half. I also, been playing that game that shall go unnamed that that I fell back into that you was like, how did you do this?
Oh my gosh.
I played that a little bit. In college football, of course. And one last thing about the last thing I've been doing, I am a huge Kiefer Sutherland fan. Huge. Love him. For some reason, I was watching, what was I watching? Watching something. Oh, I was watching Designated Survivor. Cause I'm going through the series again. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And then something to say, you know what? I want to watch 24. I done already watched 24 3 times all the way through from season 1 to season 9. It's been about 10 years since I did it. And I was like, you know what? Let me find out where it's streaming at. And it's on Hulu. And they got all 9 seasons plus the movie. So I am right now currently on season 1. I think it's like episode 9. Because it's like between 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock and 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock a.m. on that day. And I forgot how awesome that freaking show was, bro. Like 24 was freaking awesome. So I'm already halfway through the first
season. I can't watch 24.
Why not?
It has not aged well for me. Oh, because when 24 came out, I was younger and I didn't know a lot of things. And so it was fine. And then as I got older, and then I started looking at the part where they're like, yeah, we're hacking into this. And I'm seeing the screen there. I'm like, bruh,
know where you're going.
That is not hacking. What are you doing?
Especially since you were kind of in the field and kind of some of the terminology.
I am in the IT field, and that I remember seeing it like later on, like trying to rewatch the series and seeing it and going like, no. It's just absolutely not. No.
So your whole, you're just like me when it comes to certain things I watch in movies, because I get irritated like when I see just dumb stuff in movies that make no sense, and I'm like, yo, that makes no sense. And then now I got my wife doing the same thing when we're like watching TV or even when we're playing the game, and we're like, it's like you overanalyze everything because your brain is telling you that don't make sense, because guess what? It doesn't, but they decided to do it anyway. So I'm with you on that. I can't even knock you, because especially the field that you're in and how CTU, the counter-terrorist unit and everything, and how all that stuff, and it's like a whole bunch of red flags everywhere.
Yeah, everything they saying is just like, no. I can't turn my brain off. I'm just like, look, just slow-mo, just detach. Yeah. It's fiction. It's entertainment. Just be entertained. And then like 2 seconds later, something else happens. I'm like, no, I can't do it. I cannot do it. It's like watching some sports movies that like clearly were written by people who had never played the sport before. I can't, it annoys me. Just anything where they didn't do any research. Like, a TV show, just real quick, a TV show that really does like IT technical kind of stuff correctly. At least, they attempted to, and it is completely plausible, is Mr. Robot.
Oh,
Mr. Robot with Rami Malek. Excellent. Like, a lot of the stuff they do is legit how technology works. They incorporate it into the story well. It's done well.
Dog. Right.
Otherwise, I guess my brain just goes no.
Brian East just brought up the perfect movie in Swordfish. That movie was so. I can't
watch it.
I can imagine.
I can't watch Swordfish.
I remember that movie, and I'm sitting there like, if you're telling me this about 24, that your Swordfish probably will make you want to go into an early grave.
Make my head explode. Yes,
but no, honestly, that's all I've been pretty much doing and stuff. Over the course of the week. What about you, bro?
Well, I'm showing some gameplay of Avowed right now.
I've really been just playing before this.
Windblown.
Oh, okay. That's what that game looked. I heard about that game.
Yeah, it's a roguelike. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, Windblown's pretty good. I haven't finished it, Windblown yet, but it's just time and focusing in on it. But Windblown is very, very good. If you're looking for a nice little roguelike, if you enjoyed Hades, if you like those kind of games, give Windblown a shot. You may like it. It's got some cutesy characters, kind of like what was what was it? Cult of the Lamb, and not necessarily in like the gameplay, because Cult of the Lamb's gameplay is a bit different, but in how the characters are very like cute looking, but the content of of what's going on isn't, doesn't really match the way the characters look. So it's pretty cool. I've been playing the gameplay we got on the Jumbotron right now is my Avowed gameplay.
At third person.
I have not played a single second in first person.
I told you. Don't you go love it in third person. The game plays phenomenal in third person.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. I don't have any experience with the Pillars of Eternity series. So I don't know, like I didn't play Pillars 1, I didn't play Pillars 2 Deadfire. And they do reference it some in this game. And if you're someone who has played those games, you will get a lot of the context of that. But it's not necessary. Like it's not like I don't understand what's going on here. The story is pretty good. It's pretty straightforward. But I like the world and the experience and the characters, and I like my build a lot. So basically I'm using a wand. I got pretty much like a ranged mage kind of character. I use a wand in one hand. I got a grimoire with all these spells in the other, and I've been doing pretty good. For the most part, like even with content that I ain't got no business fighting some of these people. Like they got 3 skulls above their head. Yep. Like I should not be here.
I shouldn't be here.
I'm still hanging in there. I'm still beating everybody. So it's that's good. I think the writing is done well. I do have a few issues, but they're not like serious. So typically, when the game has a jump button and a dash in the game, like the dash is like a dedicated thing, they're on 2 separate buttons.
Yeah.
In Avowed, they are both on the same button. The A button is, so it's just sometimes when I am really attempting to dash, I end up jumping, or vice versa.
I noticed it in the game.
And also I would say that like having them on 2 separate buttons kind of like gives a little bit more mobility to your character if while you're fighting, because clearly, especially like my character, I'm a mage character. I may have put 1 point into Constitution. Okay, I ain't got a strong wind could drop me, right? So I need to make sure I can dodge and move really well. And so I think that like they could have did that better. Typically what most games have, they either have a jump button and no dodge, or they have a dodge but no jump. But if you got both of them, or you'll have a game where jump is a button there, but a dodge may be like a power or an unlock ability or something, and that's still on a different button. So it's you just gotta separate that out, and they don't even allow like in mouse and keyboard, because I was like, I might even just play this in mouse and keyboard if I can like customize the key bindings to separate them, and you can't even do that in mouse and keyboard. So maybe there'll be a mod later on that'll do that. But there's that. What else? So the game runs pretty well. I have a 4080 Super. Been playing it in 4K, mostly around like anywhere between like 75 to 100 frames per second, using DLSS quality, and it looks fine, but it's using a much older version of DLSS. It's using DLSS 3.5, which came out September 2023. And I just don't know why Obsidian decided to go with such an old version of DLSS when DLSS 4.0 just came out. Like it came out before Avowed dropped. DLSS 3.8 has been out since like October of last year. It's just and it's not difficult. Like I literally went into the files myself and copied the DLL file for DLSS 4 and put it in there. And so like my game looks cleaner, looks better, doesn't have as much noise in the image, and has greater image stability because I'm modified the game myself. I just kind of wish they would have just did that ahead of time without the need for you to do that. That's all.
Okay, makes sense.
But I'm enjoying. I think I'm enjoying the side quests even more than the main quest. There's a particular side quest that I just finished last night called Still Resolve with like these rangers. It's really good. And look, Obsidian they're good at writing, so I expected this from them. They're not old school BioWare good, but they're good. And the game's enjoyable. I got like 3 companions at this point. I don't know how far into the game I'm out about like 15 hours in. I know you can beat the game at like 35 hours, but as much side content that I'm doing, I'm likely not going to beat it that quickly.
40s.
Yeah. So, but I'm enjoying myself. It's fun. It's a good time. Yeah, what else? Okay, yeah. So, Black Ops 6. I got back into playing that. When I was sick, I really wasn't playing anything. Right. But I had to get back into Black Ops because I bought a season pass and I need to complete that. Yeah. So I've been playing a little of that the past couple of days. I played with Numsy a little bit the other night too as well. Shout out to Numsy. You would be surprised by this. I played some Mass Effect 1 recently. And this was more of the Legendary Edition is still installed on my PC. I beat the game on PlayStation when the Legendary Edition first came out. And then I planned on beating it again, the trilogy that is, on PC, but just, never got around to it. And I guess it was real late one night. I was like, let me just go ahead and just do a mission. I'll just do a mission. Mm-hmm. And I ended up doing an entire planet and then almost did the Vermeer mission. And I was just like, man, damn Mass Effect. This is so now this is what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to finish Mass Effect 1. I think I'm going to stream Mass Effect 2 on the channel. The GOAT Mass Effect 2. I'm gonna stream that on the channel. So I'll beat 1 probably in another week, and then we'll get that stream going, because I haven't done any streams in a while, and I think the streams are fun, and we need to get back into that. Last game I've been playing, and I only played it for 30 minutes because I hated it. Dustborn.
Oh, okay.
So that game was kind of shown at, I can't remember what event it was shown at, but when I saw it, I thought, all right, this seems interesting. I'll check this out. And I remember when it came out last year, people were really dogging it. And I thought it was the whole anti-DEI, foolishness that people be doing out here. You really like that lobby. You can't really take them seriously because they don't really play games. So I didn't take anything they said about it like that serious. Man. Look, man.
Yeah.
A broken clock is right twice a day. This game sucks. The characters are terrible. I mean, like, I don't know who writes some of this stuff, but like how it's almost like you have to do it on purpose to write characters that none of the characters are people that you like. Like, they're all annoying. They're all like really just unlikable, poorly written characters. The way they started the game didn't make any sense. It's bad, and clearly kind of writing, I think, to a particular crowd. Wow. That, like, I think people who seem to be basically care more about being represented in a game than the game actually being good. Mm-hmm. And I'm always on the mind of represent everybody in games. Just make it quality content. I don't care who's in it, just as long as the characters are interesting, the story's good. Right. Don't just write something and, hey, look, the character fits all the letters. I'm like, that shouldn't be the most important thing. Like, what are you writing? Come on, like it needs to be good, not just checking all the boxes. So yeah, Dustborn's trash. I uninstalled that. I should have got a refund, but I bought the game a while ago, and then cause like Steam's got a great refund policy, but if you buy a game. And I uninstalled it after 30 minutes, so that should like actually like fit. But because I bought the game months ago, it's no longer eligible. So
I got you.
Yeah. So
so
trash game.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about the whole 2 hours of gameplay. It also has a time limit on how long.
Yeah, I can't remember how long it is, but it was definitely beyond that. I think I bought the game not too long after it launched to kind of like, support the developers. It's an indie game. I want to help out, knowing I wasn't going to get to the game until later, but I thought I would enjoy it far more than I actually did. And it happens, it's just man. A big nope.
I understand.
It is a big nope. But yeah, that's about it. You ready to kind of get into these topics, sir?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So rapid fire topics on deck. The first one up is about the first Descendant, which, according to Nexon, is officially performing below expectations. Nexon, the publisher, admits that the player drop in player traffic is due to a lack of content. Duh. That's what everybody been telling them for forever. I don't know why, they're omitting something that we know now. We've been known. But, I mean, they over the past, holiday season, they attempted to kind of generate more interest in people coming back into the game and playing it by putting a lot of rewards that basically you had to pay for into daily logins. Like Ultimate Bunny was available through just daily rewards. If you logged in every day for 2 weeks, you could get Ultimate Bunny. Problem is that I was able to get Ultimate Bunny that way. But I didn't play the game. I just logged in, claimed my daily reward, and logged right back out because there's nothing to do. And grinding to level up Descendants and min-max Descendants can only be fun for so long. Creating, basically, skins with half-naked girls can only keep people for so long. It's a video game. You gotta have content that actually gets people actually doing things. So I don't know, man. Does this game survive 2025? What do you think, Forte? Do you think this game's gonna make it to 2026?
The game ain't gonna make it past the summer.
Oh man, you think it's gonna be done that quickly?
It's already done. Like, dude, once the allure of watching Bunny run around in all her different suits ran off, and people was like, you know how it is, like that superficial. It's like that's what it was. Bunny was the superficial part of the game, and then once they got past that, they realized that there's no content here. Oh, I'm just doing the same thing that I did in other games like Destiny over and over and over again without a roadmap really that, you know, will tie you and make you want to stay on the game. The fact I knew the game was kind of cooked. I knew it was cooked when you stopped making content for it and when I saw you not playing anymore because you were one of the bigger advocates of that game. You were somebody that was talking about that game before it came out, talking about how you like the developers, the direction they were going with, the way that they talked about the game, the systems and everything in the game. And then when the game came out, you ran in head first. And then not even a month later, I ain't even see you playing the game no more. I was asking you like, where the content at, SloMo? You was like, yeah, I need to make this, I need to do that. I said you should make a video, a build on super speed with Bunny and electrocuting people as you run through the stuff. And everybody else is making videos. And SloMo was like, yeah, I'm gonna make one, I'm gonna do something, and he ain't never do it. You know why? Because he was bored and he had to finally tell himself that I ain't gonna play this game no more. And that's where you are right now. So guess what? If an advocate of the game felt that way, how do you think people that just bought the game or played the game or tried the game because of a superficial thing like Bunny?
I mean, you ain't wrong. You're not wrong.
That's what I think.
You know, it's talking about videos. I did make a video.
You did make one
with a concern. I made a lot of videos on the first Descendant, by the way, and they did pretty well. But like the worst performing video as far as views goes that I made on the first Descendant was one where I said, "Is it too similar to Warframe and Destiny? Is that going to be a problem?" And I talked about how the content, the mission structure, the story structure, the Albion, the city, the last city, like the tower for Destiny, the gameplay loop, leveling up Descendants, how you level them up, how the mod system works is all a derivative of what you get from Warframe. And my biggest concern with all that was people may jump on it and they may, look around and make sure no one's watching them as they buy a half-naked Vessia skin. But when it comes down to it, are you providing anything that they can't already get from games that either already are playing or already played and put down? If you're not providing anything that's different than Warframe and Destiny, you can only keep people for so long, and how you deliver new content, new unique experiences is what's going to bring you that longevity. You can bring the people in. You can have the big titty, big booty chicks all up in people's face, and people go, oh, it's free to play. I just want to try it out. I don't know, and that can get people in. But can you make them stay? And what makes them stay is a content loop that it could be stale, but it doesn't feel stale. Like with Destiny 1, I ran strikes for hours. It was the same strikes, but it didn't feel stale to me. Right? Back in the day, Borderlands 2, I used to play through that, making multiple characters. It didn't feel stale to me. Doing this content, like what you're seeing right now in the Jumbotron is a grind loop that people do, grinding for a particular currency that they can use to level up their mods. You're just in one area, going in one big circle, killing all the enemies that show up, starting it all over again. It's boring. And that is the long and short of it. It's just boring. I agree with you. I don't know about it be dead by this summer.
No, that was just hyper.
I don't.
It won't make it.
It ain't gonna survive this. It ain't making it 2026.
Yeah, it won't make it to 2026. I was being hyperbolic about that.
Yeah. Well, there's the whole thing from some people, like our friend Luca. When she puts a game down, she's done. She ain't never coming back. Okay, no matter what they do. So there are people that are like that will never come back to the game. But you will get some people come back if you actually provide something that's interesting that can draw them back in. I don't think Nexon has a clue how to do that. Because if they did, I think they would have implemented it at launch. It wouldn't be such a watered down, prettier version of two other successful looter shooters. So once was successful, the other one, still just barely hanging on. And it's just not going to work, man. So that's what it is.
Nope, I agree.
Another this is actually a interesting story here. Take-Two and 2K have announced of a free upgrade for Grand Theft Auto 5 on PC coming March 4th. This new upgrade will include previously released content that was only released on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. But it looks like out of all the things that they are providing for PC players, that the main reason for them doing all this is to introduce the GTA Plus membership to PC players.
Yep.
And I think, and this is just, me here on my theory on it. I think they are trying to seed a transition for the PC GTA players to get ready to move over from those GTA Online PC servers to moving over to GTA 6 and their servers when it launches early 2026. And I say that because although the bulk of the GTA 5 community, which is like one of the most successful games ever, is on console, there are just as many PC gamers playing GTA Online on highly modified, customized servers on PC. I mean, where the game barely looked like the same game. You got people flying cars. You got Iron Man, people flying in Iron Man suits. You got dudes taking like Jordans that just came out and putting them in the game. And all of it, there are literally people out there. I'm not exaggerating when I tell you this. There are people out there that are running customized GTA servers on PC, and they're making $50,000 a month on memberships, subscriptions for PC gamers to get into their servers. And microtransactions. Take-Two, one of the greediest publishers out there, has been looking at all of this, and they like, never again. We not gonna lie, that's money that should be in our pocket. Now they could have shut this stuff down because a lot of the foundational code of what they're doing comes from their game, but they let it rock. And I think they let it rock because they're looking at like, okay, let's hire some of these people who run these servers, get them doing this for us officially. There's that. Then let's find ways to take these players because they're PC players, and you know how PC players are. You don't want to piss them off because you piss them off, you're just going to hurt yourself. So let's find a way to convince them to come over here. And if we price things in a certain way where it's actually cheaper to do it the official route than doing the same thing through a custom server, we can get that money. And I think that's what the end goal of all this is. What are your thoughts on it, Forte?
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. I also think it comes back to what was the name of that thing? I'm drawing a blank on it. So for me, the biggest thing ultimately comes back to I'm trying to think of the name of it. I'm drawing a blank. Go ahead. What are you about to say? Because you probably could jog my memory by saying something.
I don't know where you were going, so I'm trying to get where maybe I could help you if I knew where you were going with it.
Oh my God, I'm drawing blanks. Oh my God.
What are you talking about?
No, I've drawn a blank on the. My mind just slipped.
On what?
It's an abyss.
Good grief.
It just slipped into the abyss.
You are so old. I mean, what is the general idea of what the thought that you had?
No, but you gotta even think of the thought. The thought itself is like the problem. How do you explain the thought? Oh, hold up, man.
Let me try to help you out here. What are your thoughts on what this free membership thing is that they're doing? Not said free membership, but like the GTA Plus membership. What are your thoughts on because that's unique? Not super unique. Because Fortnite has a membership too.
That's what it was. Okay, I figured. Okay, that's what it was. Because I was thinking GTA, and I'm like, and then for some strange reason, I flipped over to like the whole PC. The whole reason they're trying to get PC gamers and monetize that, pretty much like how you can't you can't monetize Xbox Live on PC because it's never going to happen. They're just not going to pay for that, and then they're trying to find a way to monetize that sector of the gaming community that doesn't really go for any of the stuff like that. So the reason that they're bringing all these features over is because and these are all mostly online. Cause I never dove into what that is. So I know you get like is it like you get like $1 million in-game dollars every month or something? Cause it's monthly. I can't remember exactly. You know what the perks of it is month to month?
For GTA Plus, no, but I can tell. I know for like Fortnite's membership, the Fortnite Club, you get new skins, custom skins every month. Every now and then, it's like a license thing. Like I remember one time they had like a Wolverine skin, that was pretty dope in there. But for the most part, it's like custom, like Fortnite characters, where they're original characters to Fortnite. Yeah. But it's like little things like that. Like you do get perks, and as well as I think you get V-Bucks, which is what you can use to then buy stuff in the store as well. I don't know exactly if GTA Plus is like that because I've never actually engaged with it on that level, so I don't know what it does. But they would need to have something enticing in order to kind of pull these people off those servers. And then I could also see them kind of introducing that into now, because it's officially under their umbrella of their own development, and they can get it, get it certified through Sony and Microsoft to run on Xboxes and PlayStations. They can push that kind of content that has like really got the PC community into it. They could push that to console gamers as well.
So here are the list right here. So GTA dollars to boost your bank account, special amenities at the Vinewood Club, a special selection of monthly benefits. So that means those benefits change monthly. Enhanced CEO and VIP perks and access to Rockstar titles. So you get 500,000 GTA dollars deposited into your account monthly. Do you get discounts on the shark cards?
So I don't know. Okay, so that's somewhat smart. I don't know if that's enough. But because the part of the reason why a lot of the GTA 5 sells so much is that it's cheaper, because like if you buy the game, you get some currency with buying the game, and it's cheaper to do that than to just buy the currency with real money in the game. So people would just buy the game over again to get more currency. And I wonder if they've like the amount of in-game currency you get on a monthly basis is enough to kind of like
you
entice people to sign up for it.
So being a person that doesn't play GTA Online, it's kind of hard to kind of really talk since we don't do it. But
I haven't played it since 2016.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Maybe
but you get $500,000. You also get 15% off shark cards. So that's actually a pretty good percentage off shark cards. You get modifiers for on GTA missions. So you actually get 4 times, 5 times, and 6 times rewards. So say if a heist is like $100,000, you can with the modifiers you can make up to $500,000 just in rewards, and then you get discounts on vehicles, properties, and upgrades in the game, and then you get a special membership to the Vinewood Club where it comes to the car club that you could be a part of in the game, and then workshops and everything too. So and then monthly they give you different, they have like car access and stuff where you can get like certain paint jobs and everything. So it looks like it's a lot. Now I can't see how much this freaking thing is. You join on PS5. It's probably gonna make me log in. $7.99 a month. It's not bad.
That's not bad for something that. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, that's not bad for $7.99 a month.
And before we move on, some of the other like things they talked about adding, I was like, y'all ain't already had that in the PC version, adding DLSS upscaling and all the other upscalers. I'm like, first of all,
y'all old.
This is an old game. So if you got a PC and you need these upscalers, what you need to do is get a new PC. You need to build or buy a new PC. Because if your PC can't run GTA 5 without upscaling, Lord, come on now. We priorities, people. That said, they're talking about adding ray tracing in the game. They're talking about like optimizing it for SSDs and stuff. You know, like I remember, this is hilarious. Like finding out that, don't you remember how like when you would go on GTA Online, it would take like 5 minutes to load up GTA Online.
With the screen that would like swipe through while it's loading the thing. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And only find out that it was a bug and or it was somebody fat fingered the code for that, and a modder fixed that like real fast, got it down to like a minute and a half or something like that.
Yeah.
So now like they're saying they got it optimized. Like this is stuff they should have been did. Like of course this is a free update because you should have had this out there for years ago on PC. But I hope what this means overall is that, you know, Take-Two and 2K are going to take the PC community seriously. And I know that the game's not going to release at launch on PC, but you need to kind of come correct, you know, because the last time this game came out, it was 2 generations ago. And I think they did a good job of Red Dead 2. So there's hope there. I just kind of, you know, want to really see when it comes out on PC that it's worth it. Anything else you want to say on this?
No, we're good.
All right. This is good news. Well, at least I think it's good news. We'll discuss. But Sifu has been announced to be getting a movie on Netflix. And it's going to be directed by the John Wick franchise director, Chad. Man, I'm about to get Stileski. All right, look, I tried. But this guy's he's not director. He will produce the movie. But I do think that this is pretty dope. I think Sifu is a game that, like, really by the way that it was set up, it could be a great movie as long as you get like somebody who really can sell the fight choreography, who can really fight, who can look the part. And you got directors that know what they're doing when it comes to like get people like Donnie Yen out here. You know what I'm saying? Get people who really about that life when it comes to making the kind of movies that Sifu was inspired by. What are your thoughts on this, man?
No, I agree 100%. And it's like when it comes to the overall structure, how Sifu just being able to nail that, the aging, having people I would love to see how that would be reenacted in a live action scenario. Or
do you think they would use makeup, or would they use CGI to simulate the old look for the actor?
For me, CGI has definitely come a long way, but I am always going to be about practical. So I feel like if there's a way they could do it practically, it would be an even better sale. Because I just think you still want to be able to highlight the features of whatever, actor or individual that's going to be doing the character. But I also want them to like kind of want to go above and beyond, because that's the one thing I like about video game movies. They kind of, especially ever since, we started really getting good iterations of video game movies. I really want them to kind of go above and here. And if you have to do it with CGI, that will probably be the easier way. It will cost way more money to do it that way, because we know CGI.
Netflix don't mind spending money. They don't mind spending money at all.
They don't mind spending money in a year that Stranger Things comes out. So the year that Stranger Things is out,
man, this old gameplay. This old gameplay made me want to reinstall the gameplay again. I kind of miss Sifu.
Dude, Sifu that was a good game. I actually played it on. I never played it on PlayStation when it came out, and then I played it on Switch not too long ago because I was just at work one day and I was like, let me just do this level, and I was like, man, this is actually really cool. Just to kind of just go through invite like certain levels and stuff while you're just on handheld and stuff. But I really, 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 really like the game, and I just want to see how they would handle that aspect of the game when it comes to the age. Because I think like the first time you die on say the second level, just to see
the club, that's what I'm playing with Jumbotron. This level broke some people. Like there's a lot of people who never made it past this part, or at least when they finally did make it, they were drawing Social Security at that point. If you know what I mean, you're right. My hope I hope it's a dope movie. Netflix can be hit or miss sometimes with their adaptations, but I when they do nail something, they really nail it, and I hope they do nail it mostly so that like SloClap, the developer, they're working on a soccer game right now, and I'm like before they did this game, I forgot the other martial arts game they did. I forgot the name of it. I did a whole video on this years ago, but they like doing games where like the game design is revolved around hand-to-hand fighting. And even though I think when I beat this game and the way it ended, I kind of feel like the story is told, so you don't really like need to go back, do a Sifu 2, specifically with this story. But it would be cool to kind of like maybe take the bones of what you got here and or the spirit of it, and then do like a completely different story with a different like time period, but kind of like the same thing. Maybe it is someone else who has the necklace. I forgot what it's called, whatever the thing is called, the amulet, and could do that, but it's like a different person, with a different like mission that they're trying to accomplish, and then in that way you can kind of like, you have an excuse to just going around beating the hell out of people without actually having to take the same character and come up with some convoluted story to make that happen. Yes, True Bleak, get the likes up, man. Look, where are we at? We are 15 subs away from 500. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. We get up to 500. We can start implementing some of the things that channel wise that we've been intending to do, and we really appreciate that. Go ahead, Forte. I cut you off.
No, you're good. No, I was done. You're good.
Okay, cool. Well, last, not last, actually. We got two more rapid fire topics. The other one is about Call of Duty. And so
Call of Woody.
I got a gripe here.
Uh-oh.
I got a problem. So I think it was released today. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle content is now in Black Ops 6.
Yep. And I'm buying it as soon as I get off this podcast.
Well, I will buy one Ninja Turtle.
No,
I'm buying Leonardo because he's the best one.
No, because
don't argue with me. Argue with your mama. Leo is the best one.
No,
listen. But the pricing, Forte. Have you seen the prices?
Yeah, I saw the pricing.
It's 2,400 CP per turtle.
Oh, I didn't know it was per turtle.
Yeah.
2,400.
So you want to know how much it costs to get all 4 Ninja Turtles?
Don't they give you a discount?
No.
No way. They don't times it times
it's
4.
It's $90.
Oh no!
For all the content.
I'm only buying Donatello.
Okay. Stu says 80 for all. What doesn't matter. 80, 90. It's too much damn money, is what it is. And so,
and I got 93,000 COD points or 9,300 COD points right now. I could buy the whole thing, but I'm not.
93. No, you can't. You could buy. Wait. Hold on.
9,300. I have 9,300 COD points right now.
How you got that many COD?
Because when the game came out, I since I'm playing it in Game Pass, when the game came out, I just I bought the Black Ops version, Black Cell version. That gave you what, 1,100, and then I bought the $100 bundle of COD points. So I had 13,000 COD points.
Okay.
And then I bought 2 skins, and I still have 9,300 left. Actually, I'm looking at it now. I actually have 11,000 COD points. So I actually have more than I thought.
Good grief! Give me some COD points, man. Come on.
I can't. I can't.
I know. I'm joking. In comparison to what they're doing with the pricing for the Ninja Turtles in Black Ops 6, in Fortnite, I remember when they dropped Fortnite, they had of course all 4 Ninja Turtles. They had Casey Jones, they had Splinter, Master Splinter, and they had April O'Neil. Now, of course, the biggest draw are the 4 turtles.
Yes.
You could get all 4 turtles for $30. They had a bundle where you could just get them all for $40. Sorry, $30. And that's what I did. I got all 4 Ninja Turtles for $30, and it came with some like accessories, like a skateboard to put on as your backpack. It came with their weapons, all their traditional weapons that each of them have, like Michelangelo's nunchucks, Leo's katana blades, that kind of thing. It came with all that stuff. $30, almost a third. I mean, a little bit more than a third of what it would cost you to get the same level of content from the Black Ops 6 thing. And I'm just like, what are we doing here? Like, that's ridiculous. Look, I understand, y'all want to make money, but come on now. Like, when you already have a point of reference with this particular IP on a different competing game, by the way, to price it like this is freaking egregious. So I'm buying Leonardo. He's the only one I'm getting, and that's it. That's a wrap. I will say, and it was wild. Okay, they had Squid Games last month, right?
They did.
Squid Games. I was able to get the manager, the soldier, and the servant all in one bundle.
Mm-hmm.
That was like $25, $30. Yes, Squid Games is not as big a IP. Clearly, it's not as big a IP as the Ninja Turtles are, but the pricing is just not. It's not in line, in my opinion.
The pricing don't add up to you.
No, not even a little bit, man.
I'm with you. That's something I'm not doing.
And I kind of wonder if, and maybe this is like the last thing I really say on it. I wonder, because I see a lot of people talking about this year's Call of Duty not having the longevity, or in Warzone not having the longevity the previous ones had. Mm-hmm. I will admit, I do think the guns aren't as good as the previous game's guns, and the maps aren't as good, and the spawns are really bad. But I think it's better than the other. The previous, obviously, probably the previous two Call of Duties when it comes to movement, and it's kind of it might be it.
That's pretty much all I got.
It's got better movement, man. I don't know what to tell you. It's the movement's better.
Oh man!
I mean, I like this map right here on the Jumbotron Skyline. Is like my favorite map. I love this map, but it's just the maps that I love versus the maps that I just deal with are like it's not close. And now I'm getting to the point now. If the two maps in the being voted on suck, and it looks like it's not going to go to random.
Yeah,
I'm just leaving the lobby, and I'm just leaving the lobby, and then I'm reloading it up because I'm just not doing some of these maps, man. Some of these maps are really, really freaking annoying.
I don't disagree at all.
Yeah, I can't, man.
It's almost like I'm done. I'm checked out.
Yeah. But I kind of feel like I'm still playing the game, of course, but I kind of wonder if like the introduction of Marvel Rivals, which is, we're going to talk about that tonight, that's really successful. Your typical other live service games out here like Fortnite are still going strong. You got other games that are doing so well, just, in their own lanes, like Valorant. I wonder, like X Defiant was never competition, but the actual competition has always been these other games that are different kind of live service multiplayer experiences than what you get from Call of Duty.
Right.
And they introduced Warzone to kind of keep the bleeding from happening, from having traditional multiplayer be the biggest pull, and then it go from that to now everybody into this battle royale thing. So all right, so they introduce their own battle royale. Warzone, while it's successful, 2/3 of the player base plays Warzone now, and the other third is for the most part multiplayer. And then you got like people who do zombies and everything, but they're like they're very much less people. Call of Duty's kind of like they introduce new things, and I'm glad they always introduce new things. But it seems as if what they introduce never really catches. Like when they did DMZ, which was an extraction mode, I like DMZ. Too bad not too many people liked it because it didn't last longer than like a month or two. When they did third person perspective, and I enjoyed third person perspective Call of Duty. Too bad 3 months after it released, it was already gone. And it's just like it's. I don't know what is successful to them. I mean, you got millions upon millions of people playing your game. I don't know what kind of numbers they need to have to justify keeping modes that they spent, long periods of time developing over the course of 3 years, like they got in their rotations. I just don't, I don't know what the rhyme and reason is. I just, they gotta figure something out. But charging $80 for the Ninja Turtles ain't it. That's not the answer.
That's a wow. I thought it was, when I saw the picture, I I was like, oh, this looks like Fortnite. Then I was like, oh no, they're trying to compare the Call of Duty skins, and I thought it was like going to be like probably 4,800 COD points or something. But I'm like, that was only half the price. They didn't even give you a discount, really.
Right, and look, I will say the Ninja Turtle skins look good. They remind me of like the movie, the way the turtles look in the movies. But a lot of times, I agree with Brian East in the chat. It's low effort. Because a lot of times they be putting some of these like popular characters and skins in the game, and I'll be like, bro, that does not look like that. I always tell you about how they did Lara Croft, I'm almost mad. I'm almost mad I spent my money on it. But like the only reason is Lara Croft is because she's standing with like two pistols, and she got the traditional Lara Croft tank top with the cargo shorts on, and it's like, okay, that's Lara Croft because of the outfit, but it's not because of the face, because the face is literally, they took this Hispanic woman's face. I think it was like the Mexican cartel chick from the campaign. They took her face, made some slight changes, and then gave her the Lara Croft ponytail. Was like, that's Lara Croft. That's not Lara Croft. This is low effort, bro. Like, it's weird how they do that sometimes, where like when they did the Walking Dead skins, like Rick Grimes really looked like Rick Grimes.
Yeah, he did.
And Paul Atreides from Doom looked just like the guy. But it's just some of these skins, I'm like, dude, you charging way too much money for this character to look like this.
Man, they trying to tell you.
Oh man. All right. Anything else you want to say about this before we move on?
Move on.
Last rapid fire topic is about Tides of Annihilation. This was something that we saw at the State of Play last week, and we talked about it last week. It was being Forte's game of the show.
Yep.
They did. We didn't talk about this last week because the 11-minute gameplay that I'm showing on the Jumbotron right now was revealed a day later, so it was after the podcast. But have you seen the gameplay, Forte?
Yes.
All right. What were your thoughts about the trailer? The gameplay trailer, that is.
So, I'll put it like this. It looked more muted than the trailer that they showed us at the showcase, or the State of Play, I should say. Just the colors and stuff a little bit muted, but I really, really liked the trailer. I mean, not the trailer, the gameplay. Like how you're watching the Jumbotron right now with them walking through the environments and everything. I like the transitions and stuff that it goes from area to area. You know what game it kind of reminds me? Like when I was watching this, I was
Stellar Blade.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Level design,
yep.
the art direction of the environments. I'm like, yo.
I was like, this is like
the gameplay don't look like Stellar Blade gameplay.
No, but the actual environments and transitioning between areas and stuff look really cool. But then, like right now, where you're watching the gameplay, I was like, yeah, the gameplay. This looks fire. This looks fire. The
gameplay is really going to be, for me, what's really going to kind of hold me over with the game. I'm still excited for it. But just listening to this, like some of the dialogue, shout out to Ramon Terrell, the homie. Me and him were talking about this in DMs last week, and it was just like, yeah, man. He was like, dude, the dialogue was so bad. Now Ramon's a writer, so he's a little bit more sensitive to this than some other people.
Yeah.
But after he mentioned it, and I looked back at the trailer again, because like the first time I watched it, I wasn't listening. I was working, and I was watching it on one of my screens while I was working. And when he mentioned how bad the dialogue was, I was like, oh, really? And then I checked it out again, and I listened. I was like, oh, that is pretty bad. It's not. I don't think it's Forspoken bad, but it's not far behind it. It's pretty cringy, and if the story kind of stinks, you're really going to need that gameplay to really pull its weight. Right. And so I mean, look, the world seems very interesting. The boss fights look dope. The combat looks dope. Her abilities, all of that, it's fire. And this whole Inception like scene here really like had me hyped too. I'm hoping all this really delivers, because if not, then like, you know, it might end up being a big disappointment. But
no, I don't disagree with you at all.
Cool. Well, I think it's about time we got into these topics. Let's start with Marvel Rivals. And so Marvel Rivals is doing great. It's definitely has some staying power so far. It's been out. I don't think it's been out 6 months yet. You know, like, you know how we always say, like, you know, having a great launch is one thing. How's your game looking, you know, 8 or 9 months after launch? Is you know, like, hi First Descendant, right? You know, like, this is what we talked about earlier in the podcast. And it's doing great now. So this really isn't about how well the game is doing. It's that, unfortunately, NetEase, the publisher for Marvel Rivals, has laid off an entire support team based out of Seattle, Washington, that was working on level design and a couple of other things there. Pretty small team, less than a dozen people. So it's not, I think initially the initial news of it was a bit of misinformation. People got the wrong idea, and people initially thought the entire developer was laid off and that the game was in trouble, because like, who would be working on the game after that? And that wasn't the case. There was talk that the director was laid off, but the main director is not laid off. He's based in China, and the Chinese team is the main studio on the game, and the layoffs weren't there. The guy that people thought was a director was just the guy that was the team lead of the team in Seattle that got laid off. And so, bit of misinformation there. But, you know, something that needs to be understood, like in the broader scheme of things, that NetEase is overseas investments in studios and such. They've kind of pulled back on a lot of their funding for like in other games that were like, this isn't just a Marvel Rivals thing. There are other games that they were supporting with studios that they have pulled back and laid people off there as well. So this isn't really a Marvel Rivals thing, and more of a kind of a little bit of a restructuring of their own house to kind of like weather some changes that's going on in the gaming market. But I say all this to say to you, Forte, devs get laid off when the game sucks and doesn't do well, and it is what it is. NetEase's reasons, you know, or not, devs are getting laid off when the game did great. So it's just like, what's up with this industry? Are you just destined to get laid off no matter how things turn out? What are your thoughts on that?
I think the initial, this is the thing. So I think studios maintaining giant or, you know, above average studio sizes after games launch, especially if you're a live service, I think those days are kind of over. I do think that a lot of these people probably were part of the production and pre-production and everything of the game getting out the door. Now that it's out the door, now we just need to have a team that's just going to maintain the game over the course of however, if they got a 5-year, 10-year, however long their plan is. They just need a team that's going to be able to just keep that, thing going when it comes to content and everything. So, I don't know how big the studio was, but let's say if the studio was like 200 people, do you need all 200 people if you're only working on Marvel Rivals to be with the studio in a permanent fashion? So a lot of us will say, yeah, because the more people you have, the more content you can put out, and you kind of got to look at Epic for that, because that's why Epic kind of switched over all their development to Fortnite, and that's all they make at this point. You know, all the developers are working on that. They put out, and it kind of lets you know how content rolls on that game. That's why they could put out so much content and always change the dynamic of everything that's happening in that game, because they just have so many people working on it. They could change on a dime. And even when games, like say when certain games come out that have ideas that they have, I forget what game it was that came out, and then they implemented it in their game literally the same week. I was like, holy crap.
Fortnite does that all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Fortnite, I forget what game it was. It was the game that came out, and it wasn't in Fortnite.
It was Battlefield 2042.
Yes,
they implemented the tornado they had in there. So like Fortnite, it took like 2 weeks for Epic to put a tornado in that game.
In the game, it was just little things like that. So that's kind of the things that kind of you do when you have a really big live service game that makes a lot of money. But that's Epic, and Epic is just there. You know, that game has stood the test of time, and I don't see it go. It's like Call of Duty at this point. For this game, I just feel like the development, side of the game is over for the most part, and now it's just about maintaining the game, maintaining servers. So if you had a 200+ team working on this, you maybe only need half that, maybe 125 people to like kind of work on it. So that's kind of how I kind of, justify it in my head, even though, and I feel like people losing their jobs for any reason, especially when you're raking in the amount of money that they're raking in on this game right now. It's kind of crazy and unwarranted, but I think that's probably part of the reason. But we're going to see this a lot more when it comes to these type of games, because people think just because you're a part of a game that is celebrated and technically has made it into the live service pool, the holy grail that every developer wants to kind of be in, that doesn't mean that you're going to be there to enjoy it the whole time, because once your job is done, if they don't find a use for you, then you're just going to kind of be like everybody else, and you're just going to watch that game grow on the outside.
But like, shouldn't there as much money as this industry makes, shouldn't there be a level?
Can never make always make more though.
Shouldn't there be a level of job security? For like, I mean, am I out of line for expecting people, job security?
No, you're absolutely not. But the fact that you think that is a thing that this industry actually prides itself on, job security.
Oh no, there is none. But but just because there is none doesn't mean that there shouldn't be. And I think
definitely should be.
I think this kind of goes into like the bucket of like, I know there's some people who hate unions. But when you think about like what unions fight for, it's the ability to not basically be, if you're going to get laid off, that there's some actual protections here, or a studio isn't just basically just bringing you on. You do an excellent job, and they plan on just getting rid of you with no like advance warning. And that's been the plan since Jump Street. And because I feel like, regardless of what NetEase got to say about it, I kind of feel like that was the game plan all along. Like, they get the first season finished, and then they're just like, all right, we don't need all these extra studios doing all this other stuff. We can handle all this in-house now. Right. And so we're just going to get rid of all of them and just keep the Chinese team. It's just like, if I kind of feel like if you had a union really fighting for you, then this wouldn't be. It wouldn't be so easy to do that, And so I don't
disagree. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say about this before we move on to the next one?
It's a dang shame. I mean, it's just like for me, it's the thing that goes to what you're saying is just very. It seems very heartless when you're making millions and billions of dollars and you're laying people off when there's really no need to do it. So, yeah, that's the part that really kind of sucks about all this. But no, I get what you're saying.
And I think, this game's got a lot of goodwill built up in it. Despite NetEase's reputation and despite, I guess, I would say prior performance of other live service games that use these kind of licenses, it would, when you kind of make these kind of moves, and I saw some people, not a lot of people, but I saw some people talking that kind of talk of like, let's boycott the game. And this is like, before a lot of clarification came out. I don't think there's people really talking that kind of talk anymore. Mm-hmm. But you kind of put a damper on the overwhelming goodwill that you had. And remember when the game was like in early access or alpha, and they had those really like strict rules for content creators. Mm-hmm. that really rub people the long way, the wrong way. And the game's good though, so like people just forgot about it as quickly as it showed up and became a problem. It was forgotten that quickly. Right. There's only so many second chances you really get before people just stop messing with you because of your certain things that you do. So if the game has a lull in content or whatever, you might not have so many people that are willing to stick around and stick it out. You just got to kind of not have a lot of these PR nightmares that they tend to keep having. But anyway, anything else you want to say about this before we move on?
Nope, you're good. That's it.
Alrighty. What is the next? Give me a second.
Nope, you're good.
Fairgames.
Fairgames.
Oh boy, Fairgames. So Fairgames, shout out to Jeff Grubb. According to Jeff Grubb, he says that he's heard that Fairgames has been delayed to 2026, and that's not difficult to believe, considering that game was supposed to be out within this current fiscal year for Sony, and Sony's fiscal year ends in April.
Yeah,
they have not talked about this game in any official capacity since they revealed this here announcement trailer years ago. We haven't seen 1 second of gameplay of this game, and so it clearly ain't coming out before this fiscal year. It being delayed to 2026 seems to make a lot of sense, especially in light of the failure of Concord, the failure of the majority of their live service endeavors, them having to cancel a good number of games. It all seems to kind of make sense. I also kind of want to say this real quick, and before I punt this to you, Forte.
Punt?
I don't like to say a game is guaranteed to fail when I haven't even seen the gameplay. Let me see the gameplay, and then I'll make my thoughts on it then. But this is a heist game. It's a PvPvE heist game. And the last heist game that I know that was successful was Payday 2 over a decade ago.
Shoot, they had a Payday 4 that came out that didn't even do good.
But Payday 3.
Yeah, Payday 3.
And Payday 3 bombed.
Yep.
I don't know if there is a market for this kind of game. Now, maybe they will create a market if it's a great game, it's got great content loop, rock solid game design, and it's awesome. Okay, mm-hmm. that's clearly a possibility, which is the reason why, again, until I see gameplay, I'm not some fancy CG trailer with some famous rap song in the playing in the background.
Right.
Actual gameplay, then I'll make my decision. But I think some questions now seem to kind of need to be asked. First question is, is this just the wrong genre, wrong game at the wrong time for Sony? Next question after that is this game even really going to get released? I think that question is pretty relevant.
That's the more important part of the
question.
Will
it even release? Because they've been canceling live service games left and right.
So
and then the third question: if this game fails, is Herman Hulst done with Sony Interactive Entertainment? Forte, the floor is yours.
What was the first one? So the Herman Hulst is like gone if the third thing happens. Second one was if the game even comes out. What was the first option?
Good grief. Is this the wrong kind of game for Sony right now? Yeah.
How about all of the above?
Yes, for everything. Wrong kind of game. It might not be coming out, and Herman Hulst is done.
It's done if that's the case. No. So once again, not calling for people jobs. I think Herman was kind of set up to fail following the initiative that Jim Ryan instituted with the live service push. Now it was Herman Hulst was still over, worldwide studios and stuff when he came to being the figurehead of just the studio side of it, where Jim Ryan was over everything. So he still had his fingers on the pulse of what was happening at the studios. He had to still be on board with the fact that, the switch over to live service when it came to the games with the studios doing that. There definitely could have been some pushback internally to not make every first party studio live service. I think he's more on the hook for that than he is for Fairgames, because I think they were brought into the fold under that exception of, being a live service studio. So I don't really think that really falls under Hermes at this point. But with all of the all of the stuff that's piling on top of each other, that's where I feel like if this game goes, then at that point you probably need to kind of rethink the whole leadership structure of everything at Sony when it comes to that. But I honestly don't believe the game's going to come out. Because
you think it's going to get canceled?
Yeah, I think because this is the thing.
You know what? Play devil's advocate real quick. If they were going to cancel it, wouldn't they would have canceled it when they canceled you know why? Because those other games?
Because see, the thing with those other games. Okay, so the thing is with those other games, I feel like they want to see what the landscape, because over the course of this year, they're going to have a lot of live service games come out. And we seen Sony is willing to cancel stuff in literally the 11th hour, right when it's getting ready. They just literally pulled the plug on Concord instead of saying, let's get the developers more time. Let's fix it. No, They just canceled it and then refunded everybody. So we pretty much know that they're willing to just go all the way in and just eat the loss at the end of it. So depending on how far this game was out from release before, it was rumored to be coming out this year. If it was rumored to come out, say, this summer, and they're delaying it by 9 to 10 months, maybe it's to see what the landscape of live service becomes over the course of the rest of this year. Because like you said, earlier, they don't want to make another bet on something that not only is it going to succeed, but basically make them look bad, because Concord made them look bad.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about this last week in regards to the Order 1886.
Yeah,
and what a lot of developers who have worked with PlayStation, whether they be first party or second party, have said about how PlayStation leadership cares about their reputation, how they look, releasing games that are critical successes, not just commercial successes. Concord was a failure on both fronts. Yep. Nobody wanted to play it, although I thought it was a decent hero shooter. It did not catch on. People weren't even giving it a shot. People thought the characters looked goofy and stupid. People didn't get the premise or the understanding of it. Even after they showed gameplay, people didn't know it was a hero shooter. You know, it was a lot of confusion there about, and I think they really did the game a disservice on marketing, in addition to how the beta was released, and the beta didn't really teach people how to play the game, even though, I mean, like I'm talking about like the inner, like intricate details of how to play the game, those kind of things. Didn't have a shooting range or a practice area, things like that to help. You know, when you have a hero shooter with characters that are all very different, you need to give people time and opportunity to actually learn those characters. There's some people who just don't want to jump into the game, have a basic understanding of what the character is supposed to do, but have never actually used it yet, you know. And it was just, those are kind of things were just not there.
Right.
You kind of hope that they learn from those experiences, and maybe they have, and maybe that's why Fairgames is getting delayed, because they looked at Concord, the failure of Concord. They saw some very similar, some similarities between Concord and Fairgames, and said, if we release it with the way we're going right now, it's going to fail like Concord did. So let's delay it and move on, and try to, you know, allow this game to succeed. But I think largely the reason why it got delayed is that I do kind of feel that Herman Hulst is on thin ice.
Yeah.
Jim Ryan, you know, took it on the chin with the whole a dozen live service games initiative, which the vast majority have been canceled at this point. Mm-hmm. But it may have been Herman Hulst's vision, but it may have been Jim Ryan's vision, but it looked like it was it absolutely is Herman Hulst's execution that didn't work. You know, right. We talk about Matt Booty all the time, and how like they bought all these studios, and Booty can't get these studios releasing games on time. Games are getting delayed, and then they get delayed and they're still not really ready. There's missing features, you know, all kinds of things, right? Like we very fairly go after him for that, because that's his job to make sure that stuff is good to go and of top quality when it launches. You gotta do the same with Herman. You know, Lego Horizon, no, that did not review well. Concord, massive failure. Like, these are the initiatives. And then you talked about factions too. You had Neil Druckmann showing concept art at Jeff Keighley's Summerfest. You had all, and then you cancel it behind the scenes, and it's just typically with PlayStation, people will heads will roll. There will be accountability. You don't get too many opportunities to fail like that. And have, like, Concord, make no mistake, is the biggest failure PlayStation's ever. No point in their history have they done what they did with that game, where they unlaunched the game after 2 weeks and gave people their money back. That's unprecedented for them.
Right.
So you gotta be on thin ice after that. You allow that to go out the door. Are you really that out of touch with what the gamer wants? And how do we trust you going forward? You're going to need some wins. You need some W's. And so I think Ghost of Yotai would be a W, because I believe in Sucker Punch. I think the game's going to be awesome. But I don't see him having another failure like that. I don't know if Marathon would be a problem, considering that was in development before they even acquired Bungie. And it's going to be on all platforms, even Xbox. And so maybe they kind of look at that as, it's not really your fault if this doesn't become successful. But I think Haven's game, you know, whatever else they got cooking, this Horizon other online game that Guerrilla's doing. Guerrilla could be making, I mean, look, I don't want to see another Horizon single player game, but they could be making other content. You know what I'm saying? That's single player centric. That is what, is in Sony's wheelhouse, is what they do. Right. And they're not. They're making this all, and that thing fails. That's wasted resources, wasted time, wasted money. And so it's got to be a vote of no confidence after that. So I feel like the reason why Fairgames got delayed is that he needs it to be successful. And
he needs it. I agree with that.
And if delaying the game a year to make sure what you believe may shore up some of its weaknesses and actually allow it to be successful happens, so be it. So I mean, that's my thoughts on anything you want to add to this before we get to that last topic.
Nope, I agree with you.
All right, so last topic of the night, and this was kind of a little bit of a shocker. I'm not surprised they were working on this, but something that kind of wasn't expecting. But Microsoft, Xbox, Microsoft Gaming, whatever you want to call it, has introduced Muse, which is a AI model for video games. It's I hate how whatever. Look, it's AI model. Okay, the word I'm trying to say, I can't get it out. It's officially called Wham, but I guess Wham doesn't really, like, marketing wise, really work, so they call it Muse instead. But it can generate game visuals and even controller actions and kind of simulate like human-like gameplay. It was developed by Microsoft's research teams and Ninja Theory in conjunction. And with the Ninja Theory side of things is the fact that they have been using Bleeding Edge as a test bed for this. So they showed a demonstration of Muse, basically being prompted to create human-like gameplay and controller actions for several minutes in Ninja Theory's Bleeding Edge. Apparently the ULIF of like, no one reads these things. I didn't read mine, but apparently allowed them to collect recordings of actual player gameplay to help train the AI model for Wham. But what we're showing in the Jumbotron is a video that Xbox posted on their YouTube channel earlier today, I believe, or yesterday, where the young lady is from Microsoft Teams and the other gentleman is from Ninja Theory, and they're discussing the game. Something that Phil Spencer spoke on that I really kind of want to I want to speak on two things. Something that Phil Spencer spoke on and something that the guy from Ninja Theory said. So what Phil Spencer said is that he suggested that Muse would be good for game preservation, that this AI model could be fed gameplay footage of older games that may have their code lost or just stuck on old defunct hardware that, no one's making games for it anymore. And this could be a way where the AI model learns to be able to regenerate these games and be able to have them be preserved and through AI, instead of having someone come and trying to find old code or things like that to kind of bring these games back from developers that may no longer even be in business. And the other thing the guy from Ninja Theory said was he doesn't see Ninja Theory using it to create content, but he sees them using it to kind of help them get the work they need to get done quicker, to kind of do some of the other tedious things that slows down game development and kind of allow them to be a bit more efficient. So, Forte, what my first question to you on the thing with Phil Spencer is, do you believe him on this whole preserving games front? Because I don't believe that one bit. Not even a little bit.
He's like, it's just a keyword just to say just to get everybody on the side of it. You are so funny, bro. No, I don't. I don't. I think it's more. Okay, so we don't have it at the top, but let's go to NVIDIA. What does NVIDIA make? So NVIDIA was based on PC GPU hardware sales and stuff like that. What did NVIDIA make all their money on now?
AI. AI and data center. Yeah.
And data center. And what is Microsoft trying to make most of their money on? Well, they make it. What are they trying to do now when it comes to making all their money?
Well, Azure is the biggest money maker for them, which is cloud. But they own that AI training as well.
They own that AI training as well too. Because guess what? I saw NVIDIA stock recover after all that stuff that happened, and they say, you know what, man, AI. Just because gamers may not like it, but we got these other corporations out here willing to spend top dollar to be able to use these data centers and use this power AI that we trained over the course of 4 or 5 generations of having gamers playing our stuff. Microsoft is doing the same exact thing. So, I mean, I don't think he's, hyperbolic. I don't think he's like lying per se. I just think in general, it comes back to
it's cap, bro. That's cat.
No.
I
don't think it's
the idea. Hold on.
No. No, you can't cut me off.
Forte. Hold on.
I don't think he's lying per se. I think it is cat about it being about game preservation. I do think game preservation is going to be a symptom of what they're doing, but the reason they're doing it isn't because of game preservation. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, of course not. But it's cat because ain't a single old game gonna get preserved through Muse.
Right.
Let's try to wrap our heads around this for a bit. You gonna tell me you are going to feed this AI model like rad gameplay of a game? Of his entire playthrough of a game, and then hopefully this AI can recreate this game with controller prompts based off his gameplay or other people's gameplay, and be able to revive a game that couldn't just be remastered because maybe it's just not possible to remaster it at this point. Nah, fam. You know, I can see it now where people would be upset at the way the AI gets certain things wrong or certain dimensions wrong in the level design. Oh, this part's supposed to be bigger. This courtyard's supposed to be this part's supposed to have more enemies on screen than what this AI version of it has created. The controls feel weird. I used to have the ability how about this? What if Rabrag just sucks at playing the game? What if he's not even using certain functions that the player has or the character can do? What if he's playing a Souls kind of game and he don't know how to parry good, so he just dodges all the time? So what if the AI just doesn't put parry in the game?
Right.
It's just all this stuff is just, and clearly none of this is anywhere near close to being put to use officially, us seeing anything and being able to use it. The way they said they did this is they literally prompted the AI model to give it 1 minute of gameplay, 1 minute of gameplay and then another minute of gameplay. The way you have to kind of coax AI to do things is a little different than who people aren't familiar with AI would understand how it works. But I just can see a lot of mistakes being made with this. And then someone going out there and oh, did you hear X game has been brought back? And then, I remember that game. Remember Jet Set Radio Future? Oh man, I can't wait to play that again. I remember that game. And then they get this AI recreated version of Jet Set Radio Future, and it's it ain't got half the rails to grind on or something.
Right.
Because the person that like they were trained it on, the people they trained it on didn't see all the nooks and crannies, or didn't see all the Easter eggs or secrets the game had. I can just see how it could just not really live up to expectations the way people want. Now, the other part where the guy from Ninja Theory talked about using it not to create content, but to help their creators create content faster. I do think that is where AI will have an immediate benefit for game development, and I can see that starting to bear fruit more sooner than a lot of people think. What are your thoughts about that?
No, I definitely think that's the case. It's when like AR is the way of the future. AI is the way of the future when it comes to just development, game development, when it comes to computing, any of the stuff. I mean, they're going to be using AI to for like lighting and stuff when it comes to like things that can be generated and not have to be like done by developers and stuff, which will cut down development time. So it's definitely something that's going to become a main part of video games. I mean, it's already a big part of video games now. I just think a lot of the implementations of it is kind of happening in parts of games that people like don't really too much care for. You know, especially when you're thinking about where Nvidia is going with it, we don't have it as a topic about where 50 series cards are, and you know how a lot of the price is based around just theoretical performance that you're getting because of AI. So Microsoft's just heading in the same direction as every other company that is going to be trying to do some type of AI based training. And you know, remember when Xbox was doing I forget what it was, where they talking about having games being able to oh my god, what was it, when they would have like tutorials and stuff? Remember when, like, what was it, the guy Xbox One where they had like what was the thing where they had where you could do picture in picture on Xbox One? What was it called?
Oh my gosh! Somebody in the chat's gonna get it.
Yeah,
it was like screen and screen or something like that. It was.
It definitely wasn't screen. It's screen, but I know.
I know it wasn't like
what was it called?
The whole snap. That was it.
Xbox Snap.
I tried to use that a few times. I tried to watch like a football game while I was playing the game, and it was just like that little screen was so small. I was like, bro, I don't know what's happening in this.
What's going on?
Yeah.
No, but I thought
interesting idea, poor execution. I would say,
but that was the thing that they were trying to do, though. They were trying to like they weren't really doing it in AI and stuff, but they were trying to like have it so you can like pull up a trailer or you know a part of the game which says where you are in the game, and then if you needed help, you could pull up literally a trailer from that part of the game. And it would snap into that screen, and you could get a walkthrough for where you were in the game. Now that was just based on what the game was actually doing and how it was coded, but that's just a whole nother thing. Just imagine if you had AI that could train you, and it could actually like do walkthroughs and show you stuff in game, or like how people like have the games play for them. Like right now, you can go on Twitch. There's certain games that you can like allow your subs and stuff to kind of play with you, or they can like take over your game and play it like through the internet and stuff. So there's like a whole bunch of different, you know, AI driven things like calculations and stuff that's happening like that. And a lot of these companies are just kind of moving in that direction as a whole.
Yeah. I mean, I can see like there was something that the Ninja Theory developer talked about, and something also I saw kind of like in some of the documentation about what if, like, let's say you're playing a multiplayer game like Bleeding Edge, and you guys start losing, and you know how it is in multiplayer games. You know, there's a percentage of people who just can't take losing and they quit. And they quit in the middle of the match, which just makes the match even worse for both the team that's winning and the team that's losing, because when you're winning, you're just like, it's boring trying to chase down like the two people who won't quit.
Right.
And you can't find nobody. It sucks. If you are on the team that has lost all your players, you're annoyed because you got no shot, or for the most part have no shot, and you're taking on like all these people. But what if they said, remember how in Halo Infinite, when people would quit, they would throw in a 3-4-3 bot. It would be a 3-4-3 is in the name at the beginning, and it'll be like, I don't know, Bob, Billy, or whatever, right? And you knew that was a bot, but they were never good enough. And the way they would do it, because they had like 4 levels of bots. They had recruit. I forgot what the step up from there was, but they had 4 different levels. And I used to go into Halo Infinite in practice. My way of warming up was to warm up on the strongest bots they had.
Yeah, I remember
once I started when I was getting kill streaks against their best bots is when I would just drop out, and then I'll go into multiplayer. And that was my way of warming up, getting my head right for the game. But that's all bots are good for, just to be filler. Because when you played in Halo Infinite and a bot came in, you were just hoping a player would then take that spot eventually once their algorithm was able to find a available player and put them in your game, because that bot was just going to be fodder for the other team, because they're never that good. They're not good enough. And they're talking with this AI of using human gameplay to train the AI to play like a player, like actually play like a real player, use strategy, use smart, use the environment correctly, knowing when to pull back and to regroup instead of just running head first into a hail of bullets, that kind of thing. And I think that would be beneficial just for general enjoyment of the game. But I mean, there's so many different ways that AI can be used, and I know it almost seems like a bad word, and people hate to hear it because they think about people losing their jobs, which is a real thing. It needs to be handled respectfully, and it needs to be handled in a way where people's jobs are being protected. But AI is already being used in a lot of different ways. Ken Levine, who's dropping Judas this year, and did the BioShock series, he talked about using AI to do Q&A and bug testing on Judas. That because of AI, like their QA department is never as big as the player community will be when they play the game. So they could not sleep for months and just be trying to kill bugs in the game, and they're still not going to have a completely bug-free game. But AI will be able to kind of do the kind of work that they do much faster. And so that's how it's being implemented now. They talk about the Ninja Theory guy talk about creating characters, and then like if you got like different skins, AI could then like a human creates a character, and AI could actually create different outfits that kind of work, and then that human could then, like an editor, say, no, that's ugly, that doesn't make sense, no, this is a good one, and then kind of go from there. So it's just like it's a way of making the job easier for developers instead of replacing them, hopefully. Because you guys end it with hopefully, because it could definitely be used if the wrong people really get their head around it, by those who don't care about the gaming industry, only really look at this as dollar signs, or just a way to replace workers and to develop games cheaper, regardless of the level of quality of the game. And that's just really not what we want.
Right.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say on this before we get up out of here, man?
No, man. You let me ask you this. So do you think what do you think of where do you think we are going to be at the end of 2025 when it comes to just games in general? Like just like the direction of development and everything with these new, with like the iteration of these new type of games they're trying to build and everything. Like, where do you think we're going to be at?
I don't really see when it comes to AI. I don't really see beyond what they're doing right now being implemented because a lot of what is possible right now with AI, what people think they'll be able to do in the danger of taking people's jobs, these AI models are not there yet.
Right.
They're not capable of creating content in a way that replaces somebody's job. If you try to use AI to create, or even let's say right now in some of the instances that people have talked about how it could be useful, let's say in Spider-Man 2, you're just swinging around and you're standing somewhere in New York City, and then people talking about having AI created conversations by NPCs that kind of keep it always sounding fresh, where you're not like, hey, if I go to one block, I hear some NPCs talking, and then I go 10 minutes later to a different block and hear the same conversation with different NPCs, that it always kind of remains fresh. AI doesn't, it's not quite there yet to have conversations that make it seem natural, to make it seem real. It's not there yet. And it's not there in a lot of the ways that you would need it to be in order to make it truly useful. Now, you could say on a team of like 20 narrative writers, and I think there are definitely some executives out here who wouldn't even feel any shame in saying it. They would love to be able to have a team of 5 and just using AI. They write things and then they feed what they write the AI, and then AI gives them a little more. And it kind of helps with, now we don't need as many people, which isn't as many salaries, isn't as many medical benefits you're paying for to do the same kind of work, and just have those 5 make sure they listen and read everything the AI is doing, so it's not saying something or doing something that doesn't make any sense, or saying something that's inappropriate that gets the company in trouble, those kind of things. Like I think they would love to see that happen at some point, but it's not quite there yet.
Right.
So I think the stuff that we talked about already, fixing bugs, QA, doing different kind of outfits or skins on content that's already created by humans, like these are kind of things that, like, I think that would be where it is for a little while until it gets to, well, okay, now this might be a problem because now AI could write a story, and we actually seen it. We've seen AI write stories before. Like there was a dude that fed chat GPT fed the Game of Thrones story to that, and had Chat GPT finish the Song of Ice and Fire that George R.R. Martin is never going to finish. But when people read it, they were like, it sucks. Yeah, he finished it. AI finished it, but it didn't do a good job. It was bad, and so that's really where we're not at yet. You can have AI do a lot of things, but is it good? Is it going to be good? And and it being good is more than, say, people saying, Concord's characters suck. I made this in AI. It looks amazing. That's true. But that's a still picture JPEG. And this is an actual game with a character that has animation, movements, rigging, all that other stuff that needs to get done. And can AI do that in a way where it doesn't look unnatural seeing this character running around on the map? No, is the answer to that question. So I hope that answered your question. I think
Nope. No, you did. You did a great job, as you always do.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Whoops,
Aww.
I put that in the wrong spot. Hold
He's here.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah, I think we're done. We will be back next week. In the usual time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I may do a stream this weekend. I know I said that last week, but yeah, I was still kind of recovering from being sick, and a lot of things came up. My son's birthday is Saturday, but you know, maybe I can get something done on Sunday, or maybe even tomorrow. We'll see what happens. But Forte, let everyone know where to find you and what you got going on, man.
You can find me on the Gaming Forte channel. You can find me chilling with the homie SloMo playing Call of Duty at some point this week, because now he's 100% back. We can get back to playing that Call of Duty, and I gotta go buy my Donatello, because Donatello is the best turtle. But outside of that, have a great week and enjoy the games and stuff that you guys are playing, and make sure you come to the DPS channel tomorrow morning around 9 o'clock. There will be a actual video posted on the channel about some stuff that you guys might like. So hopefully you enjoy that, and we will see you guys next week.
All right. I might do a stream soon. I'm for certain going to do Mass Effect 2 once I beat Mass Effect 1, but that won't be like within the next few weeks. But I may do a stream soon. I don't know what I'll be playing, but we'll get it figured out. Maybe be some Marvel Rivals, who knows? I may do a video as well. So we'll I just need to figure out what I would do a video on, and you know, we'll get it going. But yeah, definitely, like Forte said, check out the video. It does drop it on the channel tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, that is. We're going to be making sure more than just the podcast is up on the channel. More content, more streams, more uploaded videos. We really, honestly, and maybe we'll do the official change of the name this weekend, but like the channel's called DPS Podcast, Damage Per Second Podcast, but the channel is going to be called DPS Gaming. And because there's more than just the podcast now, it's going to be more going on. We're going to get into making reviews too. So it's, when you're doing more than that, you shouldn't just be called. The channel should be more accurately named. And so, look forward to that. We are, I don't know how many subs we got to go. It was 15 when we started the podcast, but we are close to 500. So again, if you haven't subbed to the channel already, please do so. Hit the like button if you haven't already. And we do hope you enjoy the rest of your night and play some games, man.
Play them games.
Right. Peace.
Don't play Twitter or Blue Sky.
Never play Twitter. All right, we're out.
Peace.